What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down what's moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. And later in the video, I'll do a little bit more of a Polestar update as well, so stay tuned for that. But today, I don't know what type of voodoo is happening, but Lucid is green, up 1.3%, 1061 the high, 1016 the low. So first thing, it was kind of piggybacking off the broader market's optimism, and I think a lot of that stemmed from Palantir's earnings, but regrettably, it kind of got dragged down. Still, whoever did start to buy right here really kickstarted a nice push higher. So I don't know if some big news is coming out or something like that, but given the fact that NASDAQ itself is down 2.15%, S&P down 1.3%, Lucid's doing phenomenal. There really hasn't been that much in macro data. We were supposed to have JOLT numbers, but because of the government shutdown, regrettably, those were kind of paused. Similarly, nothing really new from Lucid. So no press releases, no SEC filings. Only thing that's kind of coming out is I see some articles really talking about Lucid's most recent update. There is a video as well kind of talking about it, came out 1 day ago, and ultimately this kind of puts in perspective on all of those issues that were plaguing the Gravity. Roughly around 90% of them have been now fixed. So definitely good stuff for that. Because you can't be a like tech stock, if that kind of makes sense, because I know Peter always considered Lucid more on the tech side, but you can't be a tech stock and an innovative company if you're having all these issues. So good that Lucid kind of prioritized that, but still it'd be nice if they kind of brought that up in a PR, because I know Lucid probably learned a thing or two, because when they start putting out these news, for instance on the 27th and also on the 29th, Lucid kind of moved higher because of that. So hopefully they kind of piece two and two together. When they actually put out good concrete news, Lucid magically goes higher. That's largely through algorithmic trading. So this is why algorithmic trading is kind of the most powerful thing out there, and it's always scanning for articles, like analyst ratings and everything. As of today, there hasn't been any new analyst ratings. So last one was done on the 21st, but in the next couple of weeks, we should be having the earnings, and that'll probably prompt a good about new 5 or 6 new ratings to come down the pipeline. Regarding shorts, they're increasing 96,000 shares. So that's kind of a drop in the bucket. 34.28% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 44.68 million shares overall being shorted. So shorts did return a little bit from the kind of mid part of January, but still there hasn't been any significant movement since December. And so I think just shorts are waiting for Lucid's upcoming earnings just to see if they're starting to improve what guidance they give for 2026. So shorts are ready to kind of pounce or potentially return a significant amount. It's all going to come down to their upcoming earnings. But as far as today, there's just, like I said, a lot of blood in the broader market. A lot of the fear is linked to companies' earnings though. So just to, again, put a lot more pressure on Lucid's upcoming earnings, I guess. Aside from that, looking at the options, 518,000 in calls, 1.5 million in puts, 52% of all the options being done are bearish in nature. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around 1050 to 11. Oddly, you have a lot at that 1150. That could be just hedging. Then bears are anticipating for it to be sub kind of between 10 to 1050. So still, considering everything, Lucid's doing very, very well. Big money isn't really the culprit kind of behind the scenes though, because we only have one transaction occurring on the secondary market, and regrettably it is a sell for 518,000. Dark pool, on the other hand, is a little bit more active, and this is where you actually did see some institutions buy Lucid, and that kind of caused it to go higher. So a lot of these transactions right here were done on the dark pool. So $1 million question is, why are some institutions buying? And typically on the dark pool, it's either hedge funds or shorts. So and plus I can kind of see what shorts are doing. So it wasn't shorts. So hedge funds did buy Lucid. I don't know if that's just maybe rebalancing purposes, or again, maybe if they're acting based on some news. Aside from all that, with it at 1041, it is right above this S2. So just this 1040 really needs to hold today. I'm looking at the 1-day chart on a side note. So these are very strong support and resistance points. Even looking at my watch list right here, you have Starbucks and a small handful of other stocks kind of green, but everything else for the most part is just very, very red. Even Adobe is down 7%. That's crazy. But just in Lucid's case, just watch for 1040, and then 997 is going to be that next strong support, which wasn't tested at all today. Aside from all of that fun stuff on the actual chart itself, and actually my apologies, I think I had this up while I was talking, so you can kind of see right here. So 1040, and then you have that 997 as support. And so yeah, just kind of watch for some of those, but Lucid definitely is doing very, very well. And still, similarly, what just happened right now is more institutions are buying. But aside from all of that, Lucid does have a little bit of a ways to go before it does get to that 10-day moving average. So even though today seems very fun and exciting, still is not out of danger just yet. So ideally it does get above that 10-day moving average, and that is sitting at 1091, and then potentially that 50-day moving average, which hasn't been tested for quite some time, since way back in October. So I think it's long past due that Lucid has a little bit of a nice recovery. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Are you buying? Are you selling? What are you generally doing with Lucid? And again, these are kind of the latest articles on a side note, so it kind of shows you that there hasn't really been anything recent. A little bit more willing buyers on a side note, looking at the market position though. That's more around the 10 to about 1030 for the most part, or 1026. So you have some willing buyers within that range. So if Lucid does dip for whatever reason, you kind of have that safety net for the most part. But let me know your viewpoint on Lucid in the comments below. Like I mentioned, I just wanted to give a very quick Polestar update. So it is down 5.85%, absolute craziness. Over the last 1 month, it is down 30%. So for those of you that have kind of looked at a lot of my day trades and swing trades I've been posting, I did say to exit Polestar at $21. So a nice little swing trade from that 15 to 21. But as of right now, it looks like they are now just bleeding money and kind of siphoning the market for financing. So they did this equity financing of 400 million, and that's over and above the one that they did on December the 16th and December the 19th. Polestar always likes to have roughly around $1 billion kind of on the sidelines, just for rainy day, I guess. So as far as Polestar is concerned, I don't really think that this is a good time to buy. They still haven't actually announced the broader market that they are NASDAQ compliant. So I honestly don't know what the hell Polestar is thinking. So it's really unfortunate. Same goes for Lucid. Lucid's kind of gone up and down. Polestar had a very good opportunity. From the get-go, they, alongside Tesla, were the only pure global EV plays. Polestar's management just honestly failed time and time again. Same thing as with Lucid. Their product was on par, like was amazing stuff. Just execution has always been Lucid's main issue as well. This is why, again, I've kind of mentioned that Polestar and Lucid, I think, based on through 𝗖𝗎𝗓 and the PIF, they might kind of talk amongst each other, but logically there would be a merger, and that'd be very good for Lucid because they'd get access to Polestar's infrastructure. Polestar would get Lucid's tech. It would be kind of a win-win if you think about it. But let me know your viewpoint on that potentially. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.